Hello, blessed souls. Spirit wanted you to have a little fun music as a lead-in. I hope they let me put it on. If they don't, then I will start here and say, welcome, blessed soul family. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to our full moon in Libra pick a pile reading. Today we are going to be working with the Love Yourself deck. Spirit has some beautiful loving messages to send. So if you're drawn to more than one pile, that's just fine. We are having 3 piles today, and Spirit wanted me to use these crystals as representations. They have been coming in like crazy the last few weeks, like everywhere I go. It's like I want to sleep with it. I'm like putting them on amplifiers around my house, on mirrors and stuff, because, we need to clean out that energy. We're in that spring cleaning. We're in like full swing. We're almost a full month into spring now. And, it's time for us to take a break and celebrate this vibrant, beautiful pink moon. They call it the pink moon because it's this time of year that the moss flux, I believe they call it, pink moss. They're cute little pink flowers that come up. And some say that on, certain reflections, it almost looks as if the moon looks pink. But I'm going to put an article below that I found that was really funny, and she said something like, it's not as magical as it sounds. She's like, the moon doesn't turn pink, but it can be as pink as you want it to be. But I think it's interesting that they had me bring this deck in, because this deck is actually there's a lot of pink in this deck. But we've all been working really, really hard in this tribe. We've all been struggling in different ways. The earth is going through a massive transformation, and so they are here to hold space for us. They're here to let us know that we are not alone, that they love us, and they just wanted to give us some words of encouragement and support today. So the song, I'll put a link to the song below. That is our theme song for today. But the music is so nice, and Spirit wants you to do anything you want with this music. You can meditate to it. You can clean the house to it. You can dance around. Whatever feels good. Play with a pet, put it on your headphones and go for a walk through the woods. But that's the kind of energy that they're sending to you. Very upbeat and fun and carefree, and they want us to just enjoy. So I'm going to get this out as soon as possible today, so that you guys have this for the weekend. And I hope that wherever you are, the weather is beautiful and that you can go and enjoy the outdoors. And if it's not, Spirit's saying do something fun for yourself, like bake some cookies and watch a movie. If it's a crappy, rainy, cold weekend, get your fun snugglies on and curl up on the couch and do nothing. Turn your phone off. You owe nobody nothing. This is your time. And this is your time today to sit with Spirit. So it doesn't surprise me that they brought in these 3 beautiful, powerful crystals. So I'm going to show you the piles right now. We're going to start from left to right, and we have Selenite, Amethyst, and Clear Quartz Crystal. Okay? And like I said, you might be drawn to more than one pile, and if you are, go for it. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Please take good care of yourselves. Take a break, slow down, turn everything off, and just celebrate your awesome, beautiful, magical, fantastic self. I love you. All of my information is in the description box below, and I'll see you at your reading. Blessed be. Oh. When I looked down, it was 4:15. You can take that as anything you want, because I didn't hear angel number right away. It was more like I literally felt like school, like it was 4:15, and like, you know what I mean? And then I just heard school or felt school, and I just got the chills right now. So I'm not really sure. Yeah. Also, by the way, you guys, there is this magical creature named Crystal of the psychic soul, and she does moon meditations, and I just love her. I love her. She's the only person that I like listening to her meditations. There's something about her voice that's really magical. Now, it's different for everybody, but if you are interested, I'm going to put it in the link below, and I highly suggest you listen to it. And if you enjoy it, please follow her, subscribe, and all that good stuff. You won't be disappointed. She puts them out on the full moon and the new moon, and they're just so amazing. I always put them on at night because I feel like that's when I'm the most like receptive. When I'm in bed, I'm calm, after I've kind of, calmed down from the day, and sometimes I like to Reiki myself while I'm listening to her, but I always fall asleep. I tease her. I said, I don't think I've ever listened to one of yours all the way through. Maybe one, but it's just because they're so soothing. So if you're looking for that kind of supportive meditation, verbal meditation, I highly suggest that you check her out. Like I said, it'll be in the recommendations in the description box below. So welcome. Your card is, I am a beloved child of the universe and have been given everything I need for every experience I shall have. Broad statement, right? It doesn't feel like that when we're in the third dimensional. I almost said third degree. Ooh, Freudian slip. When we're in this third dimensional energy, right? Like, it's different for everybody. But what I felt from you guys right away was this panic. I felt panic. I felt anxiety. I felt like you're like, it doesn't matter what I do, it's getting fucked up, or it doesn't, you know what I mean? And, I can't stress enough how much this needs to come into the situation. I'm actually going to make room for it. Hold on. Love. You got to bring love in. And I know, I understand. I truly, truly understand. It's different for all of us. So I can't say I know your personal things, but I know for myself, like this last week was really hard for some reason. I just couldn't really give the love that I wanted to give to people. It kind of started, literally my week started with such a negative energy around me, and it was just like flung into my world, and then like the whole week was just rough, and I had to keep remembering to bring love into this situation, because I am just like you. We are all beloved children of the universe, and we've been given everything we need for every experience that we have. And it's okay to be angry. Spirit is saying, it's almost like someone keeps telling you that it's not okay for you to be angry. I just want to take that card out for a second. And you're allowed to be angry. I feel like maybe you come from a family, or you're in a relationship, or maybe somewhere where you're not allowed to show your feelings 100%. And Spirit is showing me, like, I keep hearing that song. It's been coming up so much lately, but it's called You Ruin Me by the Veronicas. It actually was on one of our pick-a-piles recently. And I've been working with it too, which is really interesting because, as a singer, like, I practice and stuff all the time. And it's just, I feel like every time the words are even more expressive because, she's saying, like, you ruin me. Like, it doesn't matter if I love you. Like, she's like, I'm numb. Like, you're fucking killing me. And I feel like there is somebody or something in your life that's like super, super heavy and isn't allowing the love to break through. And Spirit's saying it's unacceptable. They are not allowed to, do that. And you are the one that is responsible for your own happiness, because look at this. I was born to enjoy life. I was born to enjoy life. We weren't meant to come here and struggle. I mean, we also weren't meant to come here and do nothing, right? You know what I mean? Like, we obviously have things to do. I want to go down a little bit. And it's not going to be perfect. No one ever said it was perfect. You're going to have bad days and you're going to have good days. But there's a balance and the ebb and flow. And I don't believe anyway, in my heart of hearts, that we're meant to be 50% miserable and 50% happy, right? Like, I don't believe that's the balance that they're talking about. The balance is in our diet, in our self-expression, in our, in our love for ourselves and others, not being a doormat, not letting someone mistake your kindness for weakness, not having to prove yourself all the time or prove, I felt like I was constantly, always trying to prove that I had these gifts or these skills, even though, like, I'd say things to my mom and I'd say, don't you remember when I used to, blah, blah, blah. And she'd be like, I don't remember that. I'm like, how come I remember that and you don't remember that? She's like, it's because it didn't happen. And I'm like, Mom, just because you weren't there doesn't mean it didn't happen. Or just because you were there and it didn't happen to you doesn't mean it didn't happen to me. So you could be going through something like that too. And Spirit's saying you can bring love into the situation. Okay, and so our next card is I don't want to burn it. I've done that. I use my words and thoughts as tools to shape my future, right? That's what I was saying at the beginning of this episode was, we have to be really mindful of our words and our thoughts. So if we're saying things like, you always do this, or you never do this, it's like we're projecting it out into the world. So instead we need to say, how can we do this differently? We don't want to go backwards. We want to move forward. Think about your words and think about them as tools, right? I mean, I wonder if this will go up here. I was like, that would be cute. If you use your words as tools, I know we can make that work. Perfect. If you use your words and your thoughts as tools to shape your future, it will actually happen because you're talking it into being. And that's why I am putting that meditation below, because subliminal really does make a difference. And look on YouTube, there's tons of them. Some of them I like, and some of them they're so distracting. I can't fall asleep because I'm like, what did he say? Because he's like so far in the background. Like there was this one guy and he was like, I love you, Saba. And I was like, what? And then I found this thing. You guys know this low talking? Some people really love that. I don't know what that is, but they talk into the microphone like this, and some people really like that when they're falling asleep. But I was like, but to me it was just, but that's me. You might like that. You may love that, actually. Tell me if you do. I'm curious, because I was like, I found this channel and this person, this young, beautiful angel. She felt like an angel to me, but it was freaking me out. She was eating and whispering and talking into the microphone. And she had like millions of followers and people, and she had like a little disclaimer. Thank you guys for all your support, blah, blah, blah. Like that's her job, which is cool, but also bizarre to me because I'm like, what? So also I'm hearing using your words and thoughts to shape and as tools to shape your future. For some of you, Spirit's saying it's like, don't think whatever you want to do is crazy, right? Like I was just saying, I'm like, isn't that crazy? But Spirit's like, is it though? It may be crazy to me. And when I say crazy, I mean like kind of crazy cool, but like not for me. It doesn't work for me, but interesting. I don't judge anything as bad. It's just like, wow, that's interesting. Obviously, there's millions of people that find it fascinating. So it's something like that. And they had me share these stories with you to let you know, like, you're not alone and you can have whatever future that you want. You have to love it, though. You have to love it into being. You have to love the people in your life hardcore. Love, love, love. And it's easy to walk away, right? It's like, oh man, this is like more than I bargained for. So like, I'm out. My partner and I were both very independent people when we met. We were both very happily single. We'd both been married before. We were divorced. Like we'd been through it. And so we couldn't commit. Neither one of us really. And then it took us 5 years to like really, really be like, okay, let's do this. We're in this for the long haul kind of thing, and now we're going to be, 7 years next month. But it wasn't easy. And we had to break up and get back together more times than I literally can count because I don't know. That's how many, because there's nothing perfect and love isn't perfect. And we have to work on ourselves. We have to love ourselves first, unabashedly. Everything about us, how we look on the outside, on the inside, we have to love every bit of us, every scar, every flaw, every roll of fat. We have to love it because it's part of us. And loving ourselves is the key. So this full moon in Libra is asking you to seek balance within your soul, and everything else will fall into place. Don't concern yourself with the outside world or what people think or what people say. It does not matter. This is your future. This is literally your future. Even if you're a parent, yes, you have to care for your child until they can care for themselves on their own. But you have got to put on your oxygen mask first. So if you are miserable or you're not good or something isn't clicking or something isn't right in your life, you are the only one who can change it. And remember that your children, the children of our future, as Whitney says, teach them well and let them lead the way, right? Teach them by example. Teach everybody in your life how to treat you. How you love yourself and treat yourself and how you set up your boundaries is going to be exactly what you need. It is going to change the whole trajectory of your life. Let's see what it says on the back. So it says, Here we go. Life is very simple. I create my experiences by my thinking and feeling patterns. What I believe about myself and about life becomes true for me. Yes, if you believe it, it will happen. You know that old saying, if they build it, if you build it, they will come? You don't know that what you have to offer isn't exactly what somebody else needs right now. Don't judge your beauty and your grace. You know, these little pieces from the earth outside my house wanted to come in, but do you see that there's like that little, I'm feeling a lot of Arcturian energy, that blue glitter, because there's lots of different colors. Oh, did you see that fairy? And when I was setting this up, there was a fairy that came in too. I don't know if I don't remember if you guys, I don't remember if I was rolling or not. But definitely connect with the fairy energy. You know, spirit wants to see you lighthearted and fun. Like, I feel like you guys are like these very playful, loving, beautiful beings, but like shit has got you down, and they are here to say you are not alone. They're looking out for you all the time, and they love you, love you, love you so much. If you could only understand how much they love you, they said. I claim abundance for myself right here and right now. I deserve to be prosperous. I deserve my good. So I'm going to try and hold this steady. Take a screenshot. I claim abundance for myself right here and right now. I deserve to be prosperous. I deserve my good. And keep saying this. Put it on your screenshot on your phone. Write it on a Post-it. Write it on 30 Post-its and put them all over your house. I don't care. You know, until you realize, this is another good one too. This is on the back. I have abundance in all areas of my life. Listen, if your lights are still on, if you have food in your house, if you have gas in your car, if you have a car, if you have a job, all of those things, you have plenty. You have more than most people right now. You know, a lot of these people are going online right now and showing, you know, they've started this really awesome trend of giving and videotaping it, right? These guys who are like giving money and helping homeless people, and hearing their stories is life-changing, you know? And if they're actors, and they're damn good actors, but some of these people, it's like you can see, you know, and it may not change their life forever, but it'll change their life in that moment, because sometimes all we need is hope. And right now we need hope and love and faith in ourselves and each other. That is what Spirit wants you to take away from this today, is love. That is the, you know, all you need is love. I know I am one with all life. I am the beauty and joy of the universe, expressing and receiving. And you need to keep saying these things to yourself. You are beautiful inside and out. I love this one. I am part of the harmonious whole, as we all are. I am part of the harmonious whole, as we all are. Let's see if we have any more messages for you, pile number 1. I love your soul. I love your spirit. Thank you for being here. Oh, this is wonderful. Exactly. I am totally in charge of my life now. Don't worry or concern yourself. I don't even like to use fear-based words like worry, right? But I am totally in charge of my life now. Don't concern yourself about the past or tomorrow. In this moment, right now. No more trying to control. No more trying to plan. I know some things you have to plan, right? To go to work or take your kids to school or whatever. I understand. But, you know, just rolling with the punches and taking charge, and no more victim. You know, nobody did anything to you. If anything, they did something for you, even if it sucks and it's hard. The moment I say positive affirmations, I step out of the victim role. What did I just say? I am no longer helpless. I acknowledge my own power. That is a beautiful one. The moment I say positive affirmations, I step out of the victim role. I am no longer helpless. I acknowledge my own power. I mean, speaking of homeless, right? So like somebody could say this. They can say, I'm homeless because this happened, and I'm homeless because that happened, and I'm homeless, you know, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, how did you really get there? Something led you up to that. You made choices up to that, right? Because even if, you know, one of them I watched, of course it was horrific. You know, the woman was like, my ex beat me, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And my, you know, we've been living out of the car, and all this. And of course that's like rough. I bless their hearts, right? But at the same time, she chose that relationship from the beginning. We all have gifts, intuition, psychic ability. Mine is really strong because I do it every single day, but we all have it. And, you know, sometimes we can be blinded by someone's charm, by their, you know, but there's always red flags. There's always a sign. There's always some little button inside of you that's pushed that you're like, I don't know about this. And we need to investigate when that happens. And when we don't investigate that, it turns into like a huge, right? It's like one thing into another thing till it's so big that you can't handle it anymore. And that's what happens. Displacement. And my heart goes out to every homeless person. I've lived in cities most of my life, and I had a guy who I used to regularly bring food for. He was like, I lived in Chicago, and I worked downtown, and it was like everybody kind of knew about him, and we always saw him eating, and he was happy, and he was just a really great guy, and he chose to live on the street. That was his choice, you know. But I just really loved his bravery. He never really wanted a handout. He was just like, you know, food, if you can just help me and feed me. And I remember one day I came to work and I didn't see him, and I was like, huh. And then I didn't see him the next day, and then I was like, hey, did anybody know what happened to Charlie? And they're like, yeah, I think he died. Somebody said that they found him, you know. I was like, oh my God. And like, I felt sick to my stomach, you know. But I don't know what led him to that. I don't know what brought him to that place, or what, you know what I mean? But he left the way he wanted to, and he lived the way he wanted to. And he was so powerful that I believed he could have spoke into being the life he wanted. But for all we know, he was a prophet. He was a form of, you know, Jesus, and the loving, you know, the confirmation of love in this human that puts smiles on all of our faces. I watched one guy take a coat off one time and give it to him because he was like, you need a better coat, Charlie? And he's like, I'm okay. And he was like, no, you're not. Like, he like put his coat on him, you know? And it was just like, but that one angel was put there as a beacon of light, of hope, to show people, you know, that there's more to life than just like the busy streets of a city, and that there's love there, that there's life there. He might as well have been a tall oak tree. So it's really all in the way you look at everything. It's all in the way you perceive it. Work with the eagle spirit medicine. It's been coming up a lot lately in the last week. Eagles have a great ability to rise above and see things from a completely different perspective. And that's what I'm getting from spirit, is they want you to start rising above your situation, taking a moment and saying a positive affirmation. You're not a victim. You know, you're not helpless. Acknowledge your power. Take your power back from other people. And once you do, once you start saying no, once you start setting those boundaries, or maybe you used to and you kind of got lax about it, you know, whatever it is, spirit has your back. And remember that you have free will, so they cannot impart or impose anything on you unless you ask them to help you. Okay? So those are your beautiful and loving messages from Spirit. Blessed full moon in Libra. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for working so hard. All of my information is in the description box below, and I will see you at the next reading. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Oh, and don't forget to check out that meditation for Crystal. Bye.